It's time to say goodbye to my Google Pixel 6. It has been a love-hate relationship with my Pixel 6. We're going to end on love. It's not getting the most honorable send-off because I tried to do a video where I put the Android 14 beta on it. It became almost unusable. The glitches were unreal on beta 1. I'm sure they've cleaned. There was another download I didn't do on this guy. I'm sure they've cleaned up some of them. But it was time to move on from this. I keep devices for at least a year. It's been roughly 18 months, and this is getting traded in on a Pixel 7a because I don't know what was going on with it, but I'm getting a 7a in coral, so I figured at least my orange Pixel need is being covered. So I'm trading this one in on that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that. So when the Pixel 7a comes on a Monday, we'll be taking a look at that, and this guy will get to go. Overall, like I said, it's going to be positive on the Pixel 6 from the way we finished up. Android 12 wasn't good on release. The Pixel 6 itself wasn't good on release. There were a lot of quality control issues as far as I'm concerned on a bunch of different things. They completely fumbled the fingerprint sensor. They completely fumbled communication. And that's been something that's plagued Google for years, and it really hasn't changed a whole heck of a lot. They're not good at letting people know what's going on. They're not good at communicating when something goes wrong. There was a delay in the, I think, Pixel 7 Pro update for January this year or something like that. There was a delay. They missed a month. There was no word. Well, it's coming out later or something like that. There's never any just understanding of, hey, there's a problem. Something isn't quite what we expected. We're working on it. There's never any of that. It's just, deal with it, and you get it when you get it. Be thankful you get it. And that's kind of the approach that was taken to the problems of the Pixel 6 when it first came out. And it was frustrating as heck. But eventually they worked on it, and they worked on it, and they worked on it. And they got it to a point where if you're running Android 13 on your Pixel 6, I think you're winning. Link will be in the description. Amazon Renewed. We're talking $240-something. $240-something. You got a glass build, metal frame, wireless charge, nice display. It's got a nice OLED display. You get the 90 hertz refresh rate. To me, it looks a little bit brighter and even a little bit better contrast-wise than the display on my Pixel 7 Pro. It's a little bit brighter anyway, and the colors are a touch better, a little bit more color saturation. I like it. You get the flat display on it as well. The 6 and the Pixel 7 have always been, to me, the sweet spots of the Pixel devices because I like having the extra optical zoom that you get on the Pixel 7 Pro. I like the 120 hertz refresh rate that you get there. But if you're okay sacrificing those couple things with the Quad HD display, this is a lot of phone. A lot of phone. You get all the AI extra goodies that Google throws in there for a very affordable price, I think, anyway, especially when you talk about $248 at this point. This is going to be supported for at least another 3 years. You're going to get a lot of, roughly, I think, 2.5, 3 years. You're going to get a lot of use out of this. You're going to get a lot of features. It has Tensor. So that's the reason why I'd recommend something like a Pixel 6 over a 5 or a 4A or a 5A. You're going to see, and you see some of this. I don't think there's pre-Tensor phones getting some of the updates and some of the feature drops that they came out with at Google I/O this year. Those are going to be Tensor-specific items. And that's what I thought you were going to see. Snapdragon Pixel devices are not going to be supported with the new stuff. That the newer features are not going to trickle down to those devices, or they're going to be severely nerfed if they do. And that's why you could get into here on Tensor. You can get into Tensor cheap with this and still get the premium features of a flagship that just came out like a year, 18 months ago. I think that's it. That's an absolute win. And you've kind of missed the portion where everybody else was the beta tester for you. It was unfortunate. A lot of people pay to be beta testers. That's what angered me at first. But they've worked on this device enough to where it works well enough. The fingerprint sensor is what it is. It's kind of baked in. If you're getting this, you know that the biometrics are not going to be great. Fingerprint sensor sometimes misses the mark. They've made it as good as they can get it. It works okay now. There's really no issues. It's not 50% like it was when the device first came out, where it was frustrating as heck. It's not that anymore. It's gotten a lot better. The one thing that they've improved a lot, and what I'm hoping is they're able to dial in the optimizations of Tensor 2 on the Pixel 7 devices. Battery life is excellent on the Pixel 6 now. Excellent. I was getting over 7 hours of screen on time with my Pixel 6 running on Android 13 the last time I went back and tested it for my 400-day review. Really nice. That's what you'd expect from this device from the start. And the fact that it's in that position now and you can save a bunch of money on it, I think is really nice. But I think they nailed this form factor. I think it's better personally than the Pixel 7 form factor. I like this design. I think it feels premium. I love the 6.4-inch display. I think that's the right size for these displays. I just like the overall feel of the device with the flat display. It looks good. It performs well. The design is good. And to be honest with you, this is kind of where the downside of doing tech reviews comes in, where I would still be, okay, let's back up a second. I would still be using my Star Wars Special Edition Note 10 Plus if I weren't doing reviews and having to jump from phone to phone. But this is absolutely a device that I would still be using and still be perfectly happy with for a while to go. Tensor, you're not feeling like you're needing for anything or you're wanting for anything. Tensor is going to be powerful enough. I never experienced the overheating problems that a lot of people did after the updates. Before the updates, I was having a little bit of it. I wasn't having it as extreme as some people. But that first January update of 2022 really kind of at least brought this back in line, and I didn't really have overheating issues after that. So I know it's an Exynos, or based off an Exynos rather, kind of a tinkered Exynos, and that's why people are saying, oh, it overheats. Well, it does okay with heat now. I wouldn't really worry about that. Updated it fully, put Android 14 on it, wasn't experiencing any overheating. And Android, look at the Android 14 is an absolute disaster. Look at what happens. Just the icons on the screen, just a regular folder, kind of went to that. I hope they clean that up, but that's a mess. That's why I didn't even bother. I couldn't even test it to do the review or to do the basically update on it. I just forget it because it wasn't even worth it. Just avoid it for now. Avoid the beta. Keep yourself on Android 13 with your Pixel 6. And again, it was a device that I would absolutely have in my pocket right now. I like the fact that they went back to a somewhat unique design. I like the fact that it's not quite back to the original Pixel or the Pixel 2 or those devices, but at least it has something that screams Pixel. You see something with this now, and you know it's a Pixel. That's why I liked what they did with the 6, the 6A. They got a little generic with the 7. You know, we'll see when the Pixel 7a comes in, if it retains some of this charm and the charm that the 6A had. But it's certainly a device that if you are a Pixel fan, if you are a Google fan, if you could get over the design, you're going to like. And I think at this point, it's probably in the best position that it's been in the last 18 months since it's come out. I think that if you're getting one now, you've kind of skipped all the growing pains of the device, and you're picking up one heck of a deal. Pixel 6 gets a vote of confidence as I say goodbye to it, unfortunately, as we say hello to the Pixel 7a. But that's a far cry from where I thought we would be 16 months ago or 18 months ago when this device came out, and I was absolutely, a lot of you came in on those videos. I was absolutely losing my mind on the Pixel 6. And I know people said, oh, it's an Android 12 problem. Well, first off, my retort to that was, well, if Android 12 was the only thing I could get on it, then it's a Pixel 6 problem as well. I can't get Android 11 on it. Can't put Windows on it. So if that's the only operating system you have available on the phone, then an Android 12 problem is a Pixel 6 problem. But it's moved beyond that. But I think it was more than that with the Pixel 6. I think there were some quality controls issues, some issues with the modems that they chose to use in this device, and some of the parts that they picked for the Pixel 6. But that's the trade-off. It was a cheaper price when it came out for what it provided. It's a cheap price now. And if you could accept those flaws and accept what it offers and the fact that it's not the best phone in the world, but it is pretty darn good, especially for $248, you're picking yourself up a winner. So it's my loss. It's going back to Google, but it could be your gain. Follow the link in the description. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, plenty of Google Pixel stuff coming up this week, including the comparison with the A54. Have that Steve-licious.